Hi, boys and girls. Well, today we're going to read a crazy story about all the things that could possibly be houses and homes from many different things. Things that I didn't even think about needed a home. So let's read our story and find out what some of these crazy homes are like. A house is a house for me. A is a, me, for. Those are all sight words that we need to know. They help us read. They connect all kinds of words together so that we can read a sentence that makes sense. A house is a house for me. And it's written by Mary Ann Hoberman and it's illustrated by Betty Fraser. So Mary Ann Hoberman, she wrote the words. Kind of funny. And Betty Fraser, she drew the pictures, and the pictures are really busy, full of a lot of interesting things to see. Well, let's find out what can be a house. A house is a house for me. All kinds of different building materials. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. And a house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds a nest in a tree. There's nothing so snug as a bug in a rug, and a house is a house for me. So a spider web is a house for a spider. A nest is a house for a bird. A rug can be a house for a bug. And a box can be a house for me. A coop? Oh, that's a house for a chicken. A sty? That's a house for a sow. That's another word for pig. It's a female pig. A fold? That's where sheep gather to sleep. A barn? That's a house for a cow. It's also, of course, a house for a horse. A barn can be a house for cows and horses, and a fold is a house for sheep, a sty for pigs, and a coop for chickens. Wow, there's many different kinds of houses. A kennel is a house for a dog. A dog is a house for a flea. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then I might find it on me. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess. A bedbug house is a bed. Mosquitoes like mud holes or puddles. Whales need an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may make do with a lake. But a house is a house for me. I see this time they're using an umbrella and seaweed. Must be at the beach. A shell is a dwelling for a shellfish, for oysters and lobsters and clams. Each snail has a shell, and each turtle as well, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open. Monkeys live up in a tree. Hippos live down in the river. Now what do you know about me? Those are a lot of different places to call home for animals. An igloo's a house for an Eskimo. A teepee is a house for a Cree. A pueblo's a house for a Hopi. And a wigwam may hold a Mohi. A garage is a house for a car or a truck. A hangar is a house for a plane. A dock or a slip is a house for a ship. And a terminal? Oh, that's a house for a train. There's a lot of different homes and houses for a lot of different things. A husk is a house for a corn of ear. A pod is a place for a pea. A nutshell's a hut for a hickory nut. But what is a shelter for me? Can you see what he's using for a shelter now? Yeah, under the table. A glove is a house for your hand. A stocking, that's a house for your knee. A shoe or a boot is a house for your foot. And a house is a house for me. I can see that down here under the ground, there is a chipmunk that is burrowed into a burrow. That would be a house for a chipmunk. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for some tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, then the tea, that's inside of me. So then your belly would be the house for the tea. Crazy. Cartons are houses for crackers. Castles are houses for kings. The more that I think about houses, the more there are houses for things. And if you get started in thinking, I think you will find it is true. The more that you think about houses for things, the more things are houses to you. Like you've got a gift. Well, the box is the house for the gift. A bowl is a house for the salad. Oh, a Band-Aid or a hand could be the hand. I think the hand is the house for the Band-Aid. A toothbrush, is that the house for the toothpaste? A jack-o'-lantern could be the house for the candle. The grocery bag is the house for the groceries. A pin cushion is the house for the pins. The cage is a house for the hamster. Oh, and the kangaroo pouch is a house for a Joey. My gosh, there are just so many houses around. Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are houses for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes. A sandwich? That's a home for the ham. Until you eat it. That's a big barrel of pickles. I don't know that she can eat that many. A cookie jar is home to the cookies. A bread box, it's home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body, and the hat is a house for my head. Perhaps I have started far-fetching. Perhaps I am stretching things some. A mirror is a house for a reflection, and a throat, that's a house for a hum. But once you get started in thinking, you think and you think and you think. How pockets are houses for pennies, and pens, that's a house for the ink. How peaches are houses for peach pits, and sometimes they're houses for worms. Yuck, like when the worms burrow into the peach and eat it. How trash cans are houses for garbage, and a garbage, well, that's a house for the germs. And envelopes, earmuffs, and eggshells, and bathrobes, and baskets, and bins, and rag bags, and rubbers, and roasters, and tablecloths, toasters, and tins. I think an envelope, that must be a house for a letter. And maybe the eggshell is a house for the egg. Wow, there's a lot of houses around. And once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that whatever you see is either a house or lives in a house. And a house, that's a house for me. He's made a tent And they've got the word private on it. So I don't think anybody else is allowed in there. A book, that's a house for a story. A rose, a house for a smell. My head is a house for a secret. And it's a secret that I'm not going to tell. Wow. So they're telling secrets. This little boy is reading a book called Ferdinand. Some of you might have heard about Ferdinand the Bull. It's a great story. A flower's at home in the garden. A donkey's at home in a stall. Each creature that has known a house of its own. And the earth, well, that's a house for us all. And we share it, so we should take care of the earth because it isn't just our house, it's our friend's house, it's our family's house, it's the animal's house, it's the plant's house. The earth is the biggest house of them all. All right, my friends, scroll on down so that you can find out what your assignments and other exciting things to do today. Have fun looking for houses around your own house. See what you can find.